Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Just gonna again just jump right into it. This is gonna be more of a spellcaster based setup, and for this setup I'm using Draculin blood primary, scholar secondary. Draculin blood is actually really good for a spellcaster setup because it gives increased spell power, increased spell critical, and more increased spell critical chance, and then spell hits grant 8% movement speed, spell leech, increased spell charge, spell critical strikes increase your cooldown rate by 40%. And then scholar secondary, I chose, I believe, tier 3, which increased spell cooldown rate and shield self for 25% of spells or spell power when casting, and then increased spell charge because it's a 100% blood, so you get that extra effect. Now for the gear, I used the Maleficer because it's a spellcast build, so it gives cooldown rate, spell leech, and spell crit after using a or spell crit chance after using a veil. For one of the kills I will be posting here, I used the Soul Shard of Dracula because it's broken, scales with spell power, really OP spell. Now, honestly insane. And then another kill I'll be posting in here also, I used the Soul Shard of the Serpent. Really, the Soul Shard doesn't really matter outside of Dracula, I feel, but you can just use wherever you want. You can either use spell cooldown rate, spell crit, or you can use Solaris for the Death Knight summon. And then the weapons I used are the Thousand Storms because the Q scales with magic damage, and then that's what this build is. It's a magic build. And then Mortira's Lament just for the scythe throw because it's just really good. You just throw it, forget it, and then you just go back to poking with the spear in between. The consumables I used were Elixir of the Twisted for spell crit and spell power, Witch Potion for spell power, and Potion of Rage because you're still going to be left clicking in between everything. Alright, that's it for the armor and the weapons. Oh, I also used Chaos Coating for Chaos passives. Now for the spells, I used Ball Lightning. This is the gem I had on it. Increased movement speed and orb explode, doesn't really matter. Increased damage per shock, it's pretty good. Increased projectile range, pretty good. Then knockback, doesn't matter. And then the second spell I used was Lightning Tendrils. Chance to trigger Chain Lightning on hit. Increased cast rate. Lightning bolts deal more damage, and then launch additional lightning bolt. And then in one of the other kills I used Unholy Magic because Unholy Magic is just incredibly strong if there's ads around. Here's the Corrupted Skull Gem, Conjure Bone Spirit for chip damage on ads, increased damage, 2 spiraling projectiles, increased range and speed for when I'm closing the gap, and it just travels faster. And Death Knight, increased Death Knight damage, Death Knight heal doesn't really matter, and the Death Knight health doesn't really matter. And then summoning a Skeletal Mage is good for when the Death Knight dies, just summons another ad to just keep hitting whatever the Death Knight was hitting after it's gone. And then for Veil, I used just Veil of Chaos to apply Ignite, and this is the gem for it. It really doesn't matter all that much. For passive abilities, I used Hunger for Blood just for the 8% increased damage against V-Bloods. As Renewing Flames for while the target is ignited, I have increased spell power, or spell damage. I used Wicked Power also for increased critical spell chance. And then critical strikes will have 50% chance of inflicting a random spell school effect, so it can also inflict chaos. I used Embrace Mayhem for increased ultimate cooldown rate and ultimate power, so the Bloodstorm hits even harder, comes up just a little quicker. Not that great. Well, it's great for the damage, but the cooldown rate doesn't matter. Then Enhanced Conductivity, increase my bonus spell power by 7%, and then spell damage also triggers bonus damage to enemies affected by static, and since we're using 2 static spells, has a chance of triggering a lot. And yeah, that's the build for this video. And then now I'm going to show the 2 videos of me fighting Dracula, one with the Soul Shard and one of Dracula, and then one with the Soul Shard of the Serpent. And with the spells and abilities in mind, this is kind of what it can kind of look like, I guess. So you just Throw the scythe, throw the ball lightning. Tendrils, just do some stabbing. You poke some more. Ball lightning. Tendrils, scythe throw, poke some more. Ball lightning. Your spell is now charged. So tendrils, do some more poking. Scythe, ball, tendrils, poke. Pretty good stuff.
The powers you bear belong to me. Surrender them or face your destiny. There is no escape from your fate. On your knees. In my veins flows the essence of true darkness. You are a shadow, an imitation. This is what it means to be king. Endless hatred. I am the darkness that devours all. The ground weeps sanguine tears. Kneel and die. I am supreme. This is the end! Drown in hatred. This is the end! No! Impossible! You think you can defeat me? I am inevitable! Forever. Impossible! How can my own powers betray me? Flee from your inevitable demise! I am the master of blood and shadows! By my own power. There could be no other way.
I feel strong.
My legion stands ready for my return. I will not tolerate this delay. Fleeing will not save you. In my veins flows the essence of true darkness. An imitation. This is what it means to be king. I am the darkness that devours all. In the night, my power reigns supreme. Feel the bloodstorm's tide! Your end is in the shadow. No! Impossible! You think you can defeat me? I am inevitable! Impossible! How can my own powers betray me? Witness the might of the true immortal king! Defeated by my own power. There could be no other way.